Well, hello there. This is Shane from Shane's Reviews, and I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're going to be talking about a book called Magnitude, which was wrote by Dean M. Cole, narrated by R.C. Bray. First things first, the narrations from R.C. Bray in this are incredible. I love listening to his works. They're on par. The production is usually always wonderful. There wasn't any editor notes or anything like that was in there, and so it, as a production standpoint and listening quality standpoint comes from, was done fairly well. However, the story itself, I know that I was reading these things like candy, and they started out really strong. Then there was I think a second book that came out, then I caught the prequel, and then there's the third one I don't think I reviewed, may have, and then this one. But I'm not sure how much farther I'm going to go on this. Now, is there anything particularly wrong with the book? No, not really. With the exception of it's like the same story, and the same story, and the same story. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of authors have a particular formula that they use whenever they write a book, right? It's just something that happens. So there's a beginning, a middle, and end. Some of the characters and character arcs, they are dependent upon the same behaviors of the characters. So some aspects of the stories on spaghetti novels, or whatever you want to refer to it as, they have a very particular way of telling the stories from point A to point B, and sometimes they'll lend from others, etc. And that's okay, because the situations are new, and the things that are getting them into trouble are new, and they get through whatever they need to, etc. But with this book, it's the same story again and again and again. So I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't think this book is worth your time, attention, or money, or effort, or anything, really. I mean, it does have a high rating for 1,464 ratings, and it's a 4.5. But if I'm going to be honest, I have fallen out of the enamoring qualities of the same characters going through the same story in this timeline, and in this multiverse, and in this dimensional whatever. So really, it's just the same thing. They go in to fight the mechs. The mechs are trying to do the thing that they do whenever they discover that a nuclear weapon or a collider, I think it was the nuclear weapons that teased them off, but the colliders are the things that bring them in. So the main characters, they end up, it's the same thing. You start, with the exception of the way the book starts, it's the same thing with the exception of where the book starts. So where the book starts is like right in the middle of a story, and that's kind of a weird place to begin, but okay, I see that this is book one of something and book four of another. So that's okay. Maybe we're just hopping over, and there's going to be a new universe that this is going to be from. But I'm to the point where I don't care. Sorry, but it's true. And the reason why is what I've already said. It's just repeating the same things. You've got the main characters, you've got the mechanoid species that's trying to take over things, and then they end up having to fight in different dimensions in different places, and then they have to figure out a way home. I mean, this is the same story that we read in book one. It really is. With the exception of some of the scenes, but it's just the same story. There's not really anything new, not anything interesting, nothing to really tide me over. And I found myself just waiting for this book to be done so I could make the review on it. So that's pretty poor. We're not going to give the clap award this time. It's not even a consideration. It's not on the top shelf. It's not even in the middle shelf. It's bottom tier spaghetti material, in my opinion. And it's horrible to say, considering how much enjoyment I got out of the first one, because there was so much potential there. But if you think about it, there was a book called The Sphere, that we covered, I think it was last year, maybe the year before. And there was so much potential in that story as well that just got squandered. I mean, from a creative standpoint, it was a very nice endeavor, but the ending was so very weak that I couldn't do it. I read it and I was just like, oh my God, why didn't you do this, this, and this? I mean, if they had this kind of a thing they could do this with, Why not exploit it? Why not make the story better? Why not enrich that? But they didn't. It was a lost opportunity. And it's kind of the same thing with this. It's a lost opportunity. The author could have done so much with this in the way that things are set up, with them being able to hop interdimensionally to pretty much the same planet, just in a different multiverse or universe or whatnot. But the problem is instead of it being where you're jumping and then meeting things that are brand new, you're jumping into things that are so much the same. And I understand from a scientific standpoint, it's thought that that's the way it would be, just minute changes from here to here on particular theories, and on other theories you'd hop over to another dimension and we'd just be an empty space. There wouldn't be a planet. But, with the deck that has been dealt on this series, there really wasn't any reason, I don't think, that this could have been expanded on and made such a nice story about not only the crab people that have been alluded to, or maybe the mechs have a reason, or maybe there's a race of creatures that created the mechs and it just got out of hand, like a gray goose scenario, but a lot more advanced. There's all these little things that could have been considered and took into and put into the story instead of them doing the exact same thing. So yeah, that's to quote Charlie, that's my 2 cents on it, and bye. But no, in all seriousness, I wouldn't go down that rabbit hole. I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't read it. I would just pass over it. So it's sad to say, but there we are. So that's my opinion on it. Don't touch it. Anyway, I hope that your Thanksgiving was good. And if you made it this far, you're a hero of mine. So would you please do me that favor and hit that little subscribe button? And while you're at it, the bell, so you know when the next video comes out. There's been a lot of new people coming in here recently, and that is awesome. I'm super stoked about that. That's very cool. And I'm not sure which video you would pick, but if you happen to pick one that's coming in, like that one, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. And have a good weekend. Yeah. Bye-bye.